Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Khutchingss and I'm owner of Elski Beauty, which is a lovely cute little salon here in Hampshire. Now, you haven't gone in some sort of time machine and you've gone back to the 80s. I am wearing blue eyeshadow. I'm doing a recreation inspired look from makeup artist Mario, who did Kourtney Kardashian's makeup, and he did the blue look. There you go, you've probably seen it floating around, but I just saw it. Thought I'd have some fun and take some inspiration and recreate it for you on my channel. So if you'd like to see how my interpretation of this look and how I created it, carry on watching. I've taken two pictures that I've probably already shown you in the intro, but just as a quick one, I got one on there. So I had two different angles to work from, and then that one on there. So that's what I am working from. But I've just taken it as a bit of inspiration really. As soon as I saw the photos I was like, that would be fun to recreate, or try to take my own little version of it. So that's what we're going to do. So, to get my nice floppy fringe out of the way, I'm going to put these incredibly sexy hair grips in my hair, just to get the old fringe out of the way. It looks really nice, I know. So, in those pictures, she looks like she's got quite subtle, like muted skin. It's a little bit hard to tell because there's like the heavy filter on both of them, like the little liney filter. Don't really understand what the point is in that, but it's fine. Makes her look cool, I guess. Mario knows what he's doing. Yeah, so it's got the little filter on, so it is a bit hard to tell with the skin. But as you can see, like from the filter, her skin does look quite muted and quite, you know, not an awful lot going on, just flawless with a bit of contour and a bit of colour. So let's do that. So I'm going to start with my ever favourite Charlotte Tilbury Brightening Youth Glow. I've got such a sore spot just underneath my nose. Why is it the top lip spots are always so sore, honestly? My eyes were like streaming last night when I was trying to sort it out. And I'm actually battling with the sun. Can you see? Look. The sun's out! Blue skies! Wow, I act like I'm excited about it, but I'm actually quite pleased with the prospect that it might be snowing again soon. So I'm going to use the classic MAC Studio Fix. I know, right? Proper old school. I'm only just getting back into using MAC stuff again. I haven't used it in like literally years, since I was a teenager. But I was a bit like, no, I won't like Studio Fix. I used to use it when I was a teenager and I didn't like it. And then here I am, using it again. My correct shade this time though. Growing up in my teens, I wasn't. But I'm going to take my MAC 191 foundation brush. So just finished blending all that in with the trusty beauty blender, and now I'm going to apply my concealer, and I'm going to do a mixture of the MAC Pro Longwear concealer in shade NW20, which is the wrong colour for me, which is why I'm going to mix it in with my Urban Decay Naked Concealer in Light Warm. So I'm just going to pop some of that on my hand. I do like applying it with the MAC N9, I always want to call it that, 191 brush. I'll get it right one day. And I'll just pop a blob of that in there too. I really like the effect of the Pro Longwear concealer lately, but because it's the wrong shade, I've been mixing it in with my lighter concealer. So I'm just going to get my MAC brush again, mix that bit together a bit and apply it where I need it. So concealer is on. I'm now just going to go in with my NYX highlight and contour palette and pop some of the yellow powder underneath my eyes. And I've hit pan a tiny bit. It's funny recreating or taking inspiration from a Mario look. I remember when I went to his masterclass, would have been 2 years ago now? Year ago? 2 years ago? Anyway, it was absolutely amazing in London. Worth every penny, and the makeup goodie bag you get is ridiculous. But now sometimes when I'm doing my makeup I can just hear his voice in my head. He always used to say, set it and then forget it and move on, when he was doing the model's makeup, and that's what I think of nearly every time I do my under eyes or get out a bit of powder. I just hear him going, set it and forget it, which is quite a good thing to remember, I suppose. Well, I'm sure the king of makeup himself would know that. So now I am going to powder just the bits around my face that just need powdering. I'm not going to powder the whole face. Judging by the couple of pictures there, there's not an awful lot of skin going on. I'm going to do a subtle contour and a bit of highlight because she does look like she's got a bit of a glow. But yeah, that's what I'm going to do, because obviously the main focus isn't the skin, it's the blue eyes. So I'm just going to powder a little bit, and I'm going to use the new Me translucent powder. So you're going to see that, there you go. The new Me translucent powder, which is the brand that I stock in the salon. And I've been really impressed with it actually. You know, I've used like the Laura Mercier one, the RCMA one, but I'm actually really liking this. Now you're always going to get more of a natural looking contour with a cream contour, so I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution cream contour. I have got a bit of massive fluff on my eye. There we go. Yeah, so I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution contour palette, and I have still got, you probably can't tell because normally I'm as white, but I have still got remnants of a spray tan that I had a week or so ago. So I'm going to use the slightly darker shade than what I normally would, so I'm going to use that one. And then I quite like to put it on my finger to start with, just because it is really creamy and obviously you want it to really blend into the skin. So I've just popped a little bit of that on my finger, and I'm just going to feel for my cheekbone and pop that in there. And I can feel my cheekbone along there, and that's how you know where to put it. Or you can make a face and you can see where you need to put it. Follow the hollow, as Charlotte Tilbury says. Then I'm just going to grab this Real Techniques synthetic sculpting brush, and then just really light movements swooping across that just to blend it in. Now me being me, I just can't seem to do a cream contour and not apply any powder over the top, but I promise it'll still be subtle. I know I'm still working with the old Kourtney Kardashian's look, but when you're doing a cream contour, it's always good to grab some translucent powder and just pat it over the top. Because if you try and pop a powder contour over a cream, it will just stick to the cream, which is obviously what you don't want because it will go all patchy. So I'm just grabbing the Me translucent powder again, and then with a Morphe E3 brush, and just patting that into the cream contour. And then I'm going to go in with my Urban Decay Naked Skin Shapeshifter palette, which I love for contour. It's so good. I absolutely love it. Did you guys watch the Oscars? I love watching it just to look at the dresses and be like, hot, not, what's she doing, love her hair. I think us women all do that. Me and my mum love doing that. I'll tell you who really stood out for me was Jennifer Lawrence, and I really liked her makeup and hair as well. So I might do something on that, but I loved that. I thought she looked amazing. I loved her hair. She's so funny isn't she? Okay, to create the actual blue eye look, obviously I knew I needed like a crazy bright blue, and the first palette that came to mind that I've got, because I haven't got many colourful palettes like most girls, I've just got 50 like brown eyeshadow palettes, but ages ago when Alice in Wonderland, the Real People Tim Burton one came out, Urban Decay came out with their Alice in Wonderland palette. Now if you know me, or you've probably already guessed actually from my other videos, I'm obsessed with Disney. So when I saw that Urban Decay were teaming up with Alice in Wonderland and doing a palette, obviously I had to buy it. So that's what I did, but it's so beautiful. I've barely even touched it, even though I've had it for ages, but look, it's so beautiful. Can you see that? It says on there, I'm not strange, weird, off nor crazy. My reality is just different from yours, which I really like. Then you open that up and it's like a little butterfly. Look. How pretty is that? I think it's so nice. And then it's got writing along here. Oh, you can't even see. Got writing along here. And then you open it up. Ta-da! And there's your palette. How pretty is that? I absolutely love it. So, I think, oh, that's even easier for my, that is supposed to happen, right? Yes, it is. I actually just thought I'd broken my palette. That is supposed to happen. So it's actually a bit easier for me to show you now. There we go. That can go over there. So, as you probably guessed, I'm going to be using that blue colour there, which is called Metamorphosis, and the slightly darker, which is called Bandersnatch, whatever that is. Who creates names for eyeshadows? Anyway, I'm going to be using those two colours, and I've got a merry band of morph brushes here that I use to do it. But first I'm going to use a blending brush, which is the Morph M502, and I'm just going to really dip my brush in that first bright blue colour. I've packed it on there, and I'm just going to go in and start blending that out. You do have to quite build up the colour with this one because it is quite a bright blue, but it is quite a close colour match I think to the one that Kourtney's got on. I'm just blending that initially all over the lid, and blending it out ever so slightly, just because on the picture hers is quite, let me zoom you in a bit, hers is sort of slightly blown out, not ever so much, not tons, but it is a little bit. So I'm just again popping that on there and going over, popping that all over the lid initially, and then we can get a little bit more precise and just blowing that out a little bit. It's really fun recreating stuff like this though. I think I should do it more often if I see a look that I really like the look of. I think it'll be quite fun. I think I'd better get a few weird looks if I popped on down to INSTA with this on there, don't you? It's not a mega wearable look, but it is fun to recreate, and you know, if you do want to wear it out, who cares? Makeup's all about having fun and expressing yourself, so if you want to, girl, you go for it. So again, just blogging that all over the lid, blowing it out ever so slightly, and then I'm going to start getting a little bit more precise. So I've grabbed what I actually use as my eyebrow brush, but it's the Morphe M5, am I ever going to get these brush numbers right? M165, and it's just like a slightly angled brush. I'm just going to grab that same bright blue colour and start carving out a bit of a shape. It's a bit weird because in one of the photos it looks proper like sharp and the edge ones look slightly blended out. So I'm going to do a little bit more, but I have slightly blended out this eye. I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it's not as sharp as it was. But I can do a bit more blending once my skin makeup's done. So I'm just rolling out that shape there, a bit like you would a winged liner, and then just blending it towards the eye. So I've really got loads on the brush there. I'm just going to pack that on, and to pack the colour on, you'll find that you'll get a lot more colour payoff if you press it, rather than using that windscreen wiper motion. Just press it onto the skin, and I'm making sure I'm getting it right in my lash line as well, so we don't get any gaps. I'm just going to press that all over the eye. And there is quite an obvious like circle shape if you look at the pictures. So once you've started to build up that colour, again I've just got that same brush, and still pressing it on, but trying to make more of that circular shape, like that. And then to define the shape a bit more, that's where the slightly darker blue comes in. And I'm sure Mario used all sorts of colours, and obviously he's makeup genius, so I'm sure he used loads of different things. But I'm then going to grab a slightly smaller brush, which is the Morphe M149, slightly smaller brush as you can see, and I'm going to use that darker blue there, that one there. And I'm just going to pop that along my crease line and along here, just to create that shape that I'm going to slightly blend out a bit later. So grab some more of that colour and get that in the crease line to give the eyes a bit of depth, and to define that circular shape, or oval shape shall I say, a bit more. And can you see where I've started to use that darker blue shade? It's not overly obvious, but where it's a similar shade but just slightly darker, it does start to give you that depth, and it's easier to get that shape that is shown in there. But it is a little bit patchy around here, so I'm just going to get that original brush again with the brighter blue and just pack that over the colour again. It's all about building up the colour and layering it up a little bit. So I'm just going to make sure that the colours are nice and even like they are on that eye. And try and do, I can't close my eye on that one. It's probably not really going to help then, is it? Can you see that if I do that? Packing on the colour a little bit and just making that shape a little bit more defined. I think one of the hardest things I find about doing makeup, particularly like eyebrows, eyeliner, eyeshadow, is just making sure they're even. And does anyone have one eyelid or one eye, or no, one eye, because nobody's face is completely symmetrical. But this eyelid on me is like slightly saggier than the other side, so I always find that I have to do stuff differently. It's stressful. Anyway, I just had another check back in on the photo, and it does look like she's got like a very thin line of black eyeliner. So I grabbed my Gigi Hadid Maybelline liquid eyeliner, which I actually really like, and just did a really thin line across my top lid. Now it doesn't look like she's got any false lashes on or anything like that. She's maybe got a layer of mascara on, but near enough no mascara. So luckily I actually had LVL done a couple of weeks ago, which is a lash lift treatment available at Ask Beauty. So I'm not going to put any mascara on, only on my bottom lashes. So I'm just going to grab my Gigi Hadid liquid liner and do a really thin line of liner across the top. I'll start from the middle and just try and keep it as close to the lash line because you don't want it to be overly noticeable. You just want a slight bit of definition. Tackling with my lovely long lashes there. So you can barely even notice it, but it's just enough just to give you that slight bit of definition. I've not gone right to the inner corner. I'm just going to go just before that, so where sort of like your main bulk of your eyelashes start. If that makes any sense whatsoever. To then try and get that lash line super dark like it is in those photos, I'm just going to grab my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dark Side Waterproof Gel Liner and pop that in my top line without trying to poke my eye out. There we go. It's just reminded me, using that Urban Decay palette, have any of you guys seen the adverts and the previews and all that for the new Urban Decay Back Talk palette? How beautiful does it look? I swear I'm going to be dreaming about it by the time it comes out. I think it said like May, June time on the post that I saw on their Facebook the other day. Oh my god, it looks so beautiful, like the pink like berry colours with the blusher and the highlighters. Oh my god, it just looks so nice. I can't wait till it comes out. And there's me trying to put this lid on eyeliner. So now we have done that, what I did before, because it is quite, it's like a clean cut line but not, like on these photos, it's like a clear line but also subtly blended. So I've almost done like a backwards cut crease, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I grabbed my NARS Soft Matte Concealer and a MAC 195, I want to say, it's rubbed off a bit, brush, and just grabbed a little bit of that on the tip of the brush because it's like a oval circular shape. And almost done like a backwards cut crease, so I've put that like just below my brow and just on top of that eyeshadow. I don't know if you can just see that, it's just like made it brighter, so made that line like more defined. So I just grabbed a tiny bit of that and just popped that around just to clean up that line a little bit and also make it a bit more defined. So I'm just going to press that in really gently along there just to give it that bit more definition and a bit more of a clean line. Oh, I apologise if the lighting's gone a bit orangey, the sun is like doing all sorts outside and yeah, clouds to-ing and fro-ing. So I'm just going to do similar. Again, just grab a tiny little bit and use the lightest touch just to get that little bit more definition on the side. So I'm just going to press that in, I'll swipe it across a tiny bit. And then you can see that is now like really straight, which isn't how I want it either. So all I've then done is then just grab my eye opener brush and then just really gently, again using like feather light touch, just really gently blended that out, which I don't even know if it's overly noticeable on camera, but that has then just, it's still a defined line as you guys can see, but it's not quite as cutthroat sharp. And then it's going to make sure all that colour is still now. Okay, now let's move on to mascara and highlighter. So let me zoom you back in out a bit now, give you guys a bit of a fright. So I'm going to be using the Benefit Bad Girl Bang Mascara on my bottom lashes. I'm sure that's a complete shock to you all. I might always use, I might also, God, my words today, use it a little bit just on the inner corner of my lashes too. It's not very often we want that cut, defined cut. Oh my god, like a really like defined line when it comes to eyeshadow, but that's part of the fun of having makeup. You can do whatever you like with it. I'm now going to use highlighter, yay! So she has got quite a subtle glow going on, but I'm still going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand, and then I'm going to pop some of the, I think I'm going to go for a bit of Laura Geller this time, in the Gilded Honey, which is a really nice gold highlighter. So I'm just going to pop this in a C shape around here, a little bit on my nose, and around here, and blend that out. And then pop some of the Laura Geller highlighter over the top. Now anywhere where I know I was going to apply liquid or cream products, I didn't powder because you want them to sink into the skin. And you don't want them to go all patchy and horrible. So anywhere you know you're going to want to apply like liquid highlighter or like liquid cream contour, anything like that, don't put powder on it first because it'll go horrible. You want to put powder on it afterwards. But I did, because I knew I wanted to put the liquid highlighter on, I didn't put any powder along here. Well, obviously I did over the contour because we were going to put powder over the top. Anyway, as confusing as that sounds, I'm then going to use, because the highlighter is a powder too. I want it to stick together, so I'm not going to pop like a translucent powder over the top of that because I want the highlighter to stick. But just when it comes to like cream contours, you want to pop the powder over the top. You want to do the same with eyeshadow as well. Like I often use just concealer as an eyeshadow primer, especially as I've got quite veiny eyelids. And then I'll just pop some translucent powder over the top, so then the powder's got something to glide over. And I'll just press in that Laura Geller highlighter in, getting plenty on my brush because you can never have too much highlighter. Then just giving it a little shimmy. I feel like my eyebrows look really dark, but I'm using the same products that I have done since I've been like ombre, but my roots are so bad at the minute. I'm getting them done next week, I can't wait. So I keep feeling like my eyebrows look too dark, but I don't actually use anything different. So I'm just gonna have to rock that look, I suppose. Okay, so especially in this picture, which I think is the one that Kourtney put up herself, it does look like there's a bit of a glow and like a highlight underneath her eyebrows. So I'm just gonna grab the Laura Geller highlighter again with a smaller brush. Or should I leave my brushes out, honestly? With a smaller brush, which is the Morphe M431. I'm just going to pack that on with some highlight. I'm going to pop that in the inner corner. You guys know what I mean. I've obviously got issues today. And then I'm just going to pop some of that underneath the brow. Then she's got quite a nudie, like pink lip. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to line my lip liner with my... Someone just shoot me, honestly. I'm going to line my lips with quite a natural looking lip liner. I'm going to use the Me Alluring Lip Liner in shade Swoon. Now to keep the looks looking natural like they do, and I feel funny saying natural, keep things natural, I'm sat here with bright blue crazy eyeshadow on my eyes. But I've just lined my lips with that lip liner, and then I'm just going to go in and sort of blend it out a little bit, well inwards, you know what I mean, blend it in, and then I'm probably going to put some gloss on, I think. Maybe some of my pinkish looking Me lip gloss. I feel like I'm back in my teens again using MAC Studio Fix and a lip gloss that goes on like this. It reminds me of school. So I've either got the Benefit California blush, which looks like that, which I actually got in my Mario goodie bag. Or I've got the Rocketeur Benefit blush. Can you tell I like the Benefit powders? Which is like that, which is more of like a highlighty kind of blusher, but I think I might use a little mixture of the two. I'm going to use my Morphe E4 for this, which is supposed to be a contour brush, but I actually love it as a blusher brush. So I'm just going to go between the two on there and just really gently again, because we don't want a lot of colour payoff, just using really gentle. So there we have it, our finished look from our Kourtney K inspired look. There we go, don't we just look like twins? Hey girl! No? Obviously I'm never going to look completely like Kourtney Kardashian, but it is fun to do recreation and inspired looks. I'm definitely going to do them more often and try and delve into the world of coloured eyeshadow. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it, and subscribe, that would be fabulous, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys!